Alright, we are back. I just got bored. Alright, so here we are again live, covering the severe weather threat across the deep south. This will include tornadoes, damaging wind, and hail. Right now we have a large strip of tornado watch area. So we have a few storms that are up here that are tornado warned currently. Few areas of rotation. It's like very broad rotation. But tornado warnings are in effect. Another tornado warning also in effect over here. Not seeing much over here. Maybe a little something down here. Like right here. New tornado warning. I think this is a new tornado warning, right? Maybe not. Anyways, view of the threat ongoing. Probably until like, let's see. When it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Devastating flooding is happening in West Virginia. We've got multiple reports in Nashville, Tennessee of flooding. A new severe thunderstorm warning just got issued for parts of, I can't tell what that town is, Good Spring, Aspen Hill, Leomin, 5 Points, Minor Hill, Appleton, Elkton, Beach Hill. This is all in Tennessee. Likely some hail here too. Maybe some rotation near Rogersville that is looking interesting. A bunch of special weather statements have been issued for southern Louisiana and Mississippi. These are mostly for gusty winds and hail. 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Besides that, we're dealing with a winter storm up in the northeast, in the interior, the Great Lakes region. Heavy snow starting to overspread areas of Maine now, with a nice little pocket of heavy banding through Waterville and Augusta. That goes up to the northern mountains of Maine. Massachusetts, Boston, Yarmouth, and Hartford getting on some heavy snow. Mixed precipitation happening in the mid-Atlantic and northeast, specifically around the Philadelphia area. Heavy snow falling. Much of this, I think, might be lake effect too, coming off of the waters. New severe thunderstorm warning just got issued for parts of Jasper and Tuscaloosa, Mississippi. Or is it Alabama? I keep on getting these states wrong. Alabama. This is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. All of these are for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Like a lot of these. So yeah, damaging winds has been the primary story today. But we still have tornado watches that are in effect until 4 o'clock this morning. I'm going to check if the Storm Prediction Center has updated. I don't think it has. Yes, it has. Huh. The threat has been removed for today, which is interesting. Let me see what I'm talking about. Well, that's interesting. Why did they remove it? There's still an enhanced resistance weather through much of these states, but new special weather statement in effect for parts of Laurel. And Quitman. These are for gusty winds to about 50 miles per hour. So those are just around that damaging. Alright. I gotta do something real quick. Hold on. Alright, back to it. So yeah, basically what we thought would happen, a large line of damaging wind thunderstorms. Look at this line. Goes all the way up here and all the way down here. Large line of thunderstorms. I'll be right back, I gotta get water. New tornado warning. Is this a new tornado warning? I think this is. No, it's not. Never mind. But it does look like something's there, but it's not. Oh. Here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. Heavy snow falling through northwest of Waterville in Augusta, Maine. See if they've updated these warnings so far. I'm not seeing... The National Weather Service, I don't think, is seeing the potential for heavy freezing rain. Which is basically just rain that freezes on contact. Only it'll be heavy. Oh. The one thing we've avoided today is confirmed AMPDS tornadoes. I thought there might have been a chance for a tornado emergency, but I don't think that's going to happen today. New severe thunderstorm warning just got... Never mind, I guess it didn't get issued. They just seem new to me. Strong line of thunderstorms moving to the east-northeast. Look how fast they're moving, jeez. I got a feeling that's because of the strong jet stream right now. Man, oh man, oh man. Well, the good thing is... Actually, I don't know if that's a good thing. It's observed again, which means it's catastrophic once again. Except for this one right here. So one flood, there's some flood reports here. But I mean, just look at this line of thunderstorms. It's impressive. It's damaging wind threat. Well, we also have to watch for thunderstorms ahead of this line that are more scattered in nature and more individual in nature, because those have the best chance of producing a tornado. And here's why: they need space for a tornado, a strong tornado. If you're gonna get a QC tornadoes inside of a line of thunderstorms, you're not gonna get. It's rather rare to get a strong thunderstorm. So I don't even know if it's going to happen tonight. I'd say it's a low chance at this point. I mean, yes, there's been a lot of winds here, but obviously that's proven that it can pretty much do nothing tonight. Which is a good thing. It's a good thing. That means less in the way of tornadoes. Only thing is this squall line is producing damaging winds. And was damaging, and I'm sure you saw left not too long ago. These little lines in the thunderstorms are squall lines. And that's because of also the low-level jet. The low-level jet stream. Able to bring those winds down to the surface with the heavy rainfall. If you're seeing 70 mile per hour wind gusts ahead of the storm, it's not real. Tornado warning just got extended. Special weather statement over here just got dismissed. Maybe a little bit of rotation near New Lexington. Looks like there might be some rotation. New severe thunderstorm warning just got issued for Butler, Lisman, Waynesboro, and half of Millery, Alabama. This is for damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour and some small hail. New severe thunderstorm warning just got issued for Cornersville, Lewisburg, Belfast, Bedford, all the way back to portions of Haley. This is in Tennessee, by the way. This is for damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour and small size hail. The new special weather statement? No. Alright, let's see what's going on in the winter weather world. Go back up here. Heavy mixing through Pennsylvania. Heavy mixing happening in the Great Lakes region, especially Lake Ontario, or Lake, which lake is this? Lake Erie, yeah. Heavy icing through Allentown. Heavy icing near Route 77, 76. Icing happening through Bridgeport, Connecticut, Oyster Bay, all the way back to Allentown. Icing through Albany, Pittsfield, all the way back to Connecticut, Newburgh. Oh. Snow falling across southern and central into down East Maine. Snow falling in portions of the mountains areas of New York and Vermont and New Hampshire, I would imagine. Yep. Snow falling and a little bit of sleet perhaps near Rome. Let's see what heavy sea icing is happening. It's probably right in here. This will eventually change over to sleet, but this looks to be our heaviest pocket of snow right here, right through Massachusetts and Springfield. Snow starting to overspread the area into portions of the central highlands of Maine, or north central Maine. Freezing rain happening. Freezing rain and sleet happening in Detroit and near the Toledo area. A lot of freezing rain happening towards Lake Erie. Lake effect snow happening across areas in Michigan. Freezing rain and sleet happening over here. Heavy snow banding setting up right in here. Another severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for parts of Quitman. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and small hail. I would expect if this line can kind of curve out like this a little bit more, then I would expect a tornado to possibly form in that spot, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But this tornado watch box does extend all the way up into Kentucky. Oh, winter storm watches have now been issued for parts. Or maybe is this... Oh. This... My high wind, for some reason the high wind watch was removed across this area. I'm going to check if that's true. No, high wind watch is not removed from that area. It just is not appearing on radar. There is a high wind watch right there. Is this a new tornado warning? Yep. Another tornado warning has been issued for Kingston, or sorry, Livingston. Area of rotation is going to be somewhere in here. Is it here? I think so, yeah. That would make sense. Tornado warning has been extended here as well. Also, make sure to seek shelter immediately where the floor is part of your home or building if you are in a tornado warning. Rotation right here. Alright, I'll be right back. New severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of... hold on. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of southern Mississippi and parts of Louisiana as well. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and small hail. There's a tornado possible labeled with this one. I'm assuming that's because there's some areas of rotation in here. Not sure, but yeah. Go indoors, away from windows. There's a pretty bad wind threat over here with 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts out of these storms, so I would definitely stay inside. It is from this line of thunderstorms right back here. This will move to the east, causing some probably widespread damage. Tornado warnings extend all the way up through portions of Moundville. A little bit of rotation back here. The rotation is somewhere back here. You just can't see it because the radar site is split in half. Or my bad. Rotation would be like right in here. So yeah. Seek shelter immediately, whether that's the lowest part of your home or building, or tornado shelter, or if sometimes I say, if you're not near a structure of any kind or any sort of shelter, you got to find a ditch and lay down flat down on the bottom of the ditch, laying face down so you don't get hit by flying debris. There's also a tornado warning over here that's been extended through Livingston. Let's see if we can find the area of rotation here. The area of rotation is going to be right in here. Or maybe not. Is it somewhere? Okay, the latest scan just came in. It's somewhere in here, and there's an area, another area of rotation up over here. So yeah, tornado warnings have been issued. Another tornado warning down here. This one expires in 52 minutes. This one just got issued. So many areas of rotation. It's just so hard to tell. Or it seems to be so many areas of rotation. Also, special marine warning in effect for Lake Pontchartrain, and this is Louisiana. This one is for this line of thunderstorms moving through to the east. This is for water spouts and wind gusts to 40 knots, so there's a potential for water spouts here. Let's see. Personally, I don't see it. Maybe right up here. There's this little tiny specks. I don't know if that's necessary. But I don't see anything that stands out to me. Maybe one over here. So hard to tell. That's not. Yeah, if you're near the lake, I just get out of the water, and I don't know why you... Actually, no. Now that I think of it, why would you be in the water in the first place? Well, if you're in the water, get out of the water. So yeah, water spouts are a potential with this one. So yeah, keep an eye on that. There's also a flood warning after the Mississippi River. And then that's right next to a tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm warnings extend all the way up through Alabama, all the way through Kentucky. Sorry, Tennessee, not Kentucky, but Tennessee. So lots of tornado warnings going on right now, lots of stuff going on. I gotta update those warnings real quick. 21, and alright, new severe thunderstorm warning just got issued for parts of Bingham, Miss Alabama, that extends all the way up through Sneed, Alabama, for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so this will definitely be a damaging wind threat, no doubt about it. Still watching for QCLS tornadoes or embedded tornadoes within the line of thunderstorms. Oh, God almighty. Hopefully you guys don't get this cold. This cold is straight up awful. Lots of coughing. Anyhow. Tomorrow's threat, I don't think I'm going to be live for this. There's a wind and a tornado risk, but the tornado risk is so low. This is the kind of thing you would want to see for tornadoes right here. A little bit of rotation in here. Rotation in here as well. Oh, we got a bunch of markers of 50 and 60 miles per hour here. These are reports, by the way. Wait, what? Is the tornado warning down here now? Not seeing many areas of rotation here. I mean, it looked originally like there was rotation west of Lynchburg, but I think that's gray there, so it's so tiny amounts of rotation right now. Nothing that looks like really significant out of the blue. Is this a new tornado warning that just got extended? Yeah, okay. tornado warning just got extended, or might have already been here, to Greensboro and New Bern. If you're in this warning, make sure to seek shelter immediately, whether that's the lowest part of your home or building. The tornado warning just got extended into parts of East Flintsville all the way up to Eastville Springs for these broad areas of rotation. I'm not sure why. That would make sense. Oh, didn't even notice. Thank you all for 63 subscribers. On the road to 70 now. All I see is broad rotation, that's all I see. Stronger rotation northwest of Poplarville. Now rotation seems the most significant. severe thunderstorm warning just got issued for parts of Tell City, Montevideo, Gadsden, for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so damaging wind gusts. Wow. That's an intense squall line forming right there. Look at that. That is tight. New tornado warning just got issued for this area. If you're in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately whether that's part of your home or building. Be right back. Alright. Tornado warning still in effect for this area. Oh, that's not good. Alright, we're starting to get some rapid rotation southwest of New Bern. Let's see if it's gonna pop on. Tightening rotation near New Bern. We're approaching 1:05 a.m. CST, 2:05 a.m. EST, and yeah, 12:05 a.m. PST. That's right. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry. Possibly some rotation right around in between, right around Miller. New severe thunderstorm warning just got extended into portions of South Pittsburgh, Whitwell, and Dunlap for wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour, and there's a tornado possible label on this with 1-inch size hail. New mental scale discussion just got released. Let me see what's going on. No severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for parts of southern and southwestern Alabama. For winds gusting as high as 70 miles per hour, so another damaging wind threat. And there's a tornado possible label on this one as well. Strengthening rotation near Coleman. Probably the most significant rotation I've seen all night. Not a good sign. strengthening rotation right over or near Coleman. Might be a cloud lowering, possibly even a funnel cloud at this point. That rotation is just getting stronger. Might have something developing here. Kind of lines up almost identically. Significant rotation right over the town of Zimmerman. Right over the town of Zimmerman. We'll see if the correlation lines up with it. Still significant rotation over Zimmerman. What is going on? There. Let me try something. Still significant rotation right over Zimmerman. New tornado warning issued near Albertville. Yeah. Here's some broad rotation. Rotation right here, broad rotation, and then broad rotation here as well. So maybe a brief tornado. Looks like broad over here too. Tornado watch has been extended into Georgia, especially south and northwestern Georgia. If you're in this tornado watch overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow, just, you know, have alerts enabled on your phone or whatever for tornado watches and stuff like that. We have a new tornado warning has just been issued for areas in Pennagar, Sylvania, Rainsville, Idere, and Valley Head, and Langston as well, and Sexton and Dutton. Very broad areas of rotation. Right about here. Oops. Right in here is your broad rotation. If you're in this tornado warning, make sure to seek shelter immediately, whether as well as part of your home or building. This tornado watch extends for another 6 hours. Dang. Uh, 9 o'clock a.m. is when this thing will be done and over with.
To get ChatGPT.
throughout the rotation. Significant rotation still southeast of Marion. Alright guys, it's getting late. I'm gonna head out. Let me just give you let me tell you what's going on. So what we're gonna continue to see over the next couple of hours is this line of thunderstorms continue to march across the east into Alabama, Georgia, and eventually South Carolina. As it does that, it's going to be losing its instability and wind shear and stuff like that, which will loosen the amount of storms and the intensity of them as well. By the time it gets to about the Florida area, between the Georgia area and here, you're going to start seeing these thunderstorms becoming less and less significant. So here's a general idea of what you could see over the next couple of hours. Here's the composite reflectivity. Here's a general idea of what you could see. So again, it's going to lose its instability rather quickly. Again, there will be the chance for gusty winds, obviously, and it's going to be a pretty nice bow echo shaped wind, but it's mostly going to be for damaging winds. The tornado threat by then should be pretty much over with, since we're not really getting any individual cells out ahead of it. So that's what happens tomorrow. And tomorrow's threat for severe weather, once I get out of this, hold on. So yeah, these thunderstorms are going to continue to move off, but I think there's a chance between like 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. that you get some individual thunderstorms ahead of the line of thunderstorms that could produce a tornado. But again, I think the overall threat tonight is really, really low to see any tornadoes actually, the thunderstorms able to produce an actual tornado. I think it's relatively low since what I've seen today. With the amount of wind shear we've had in today's environment, I cannot see really a tornado happening. But obviously there's always that chance. Excuse me. But as I said, I think the tornado threat would be pretty much over by 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning is when I'm going to call it. Tornado threat is pretty much done and over with. Then it's going to become a more linear line of storms and a more squall line, a really intense squall line, which will provide gusty winds and some individual and some small hail. Some of it may work its way all the way down into portions of southern Florida, but once it reaches about the south central parts of Florida, it's going to start to fall apart. That's how we're looking right now. And with that being said, there is a severe weather threat for tomorrow as well. We'll get into that right now. So here's a severe weather threat for tomorrow. We have a slight risk of severe weather that is expected for southern South Carolina, southern Georgia, and northern and northwestern Florida. So this will primarily be a very low chance of a tornado and some isolated to scattered gusty winds and damaging winds. And there will also be the potential for, I think, some hail, but I think it's really low. Let me take a look. I think there's a potential for a little bit of hail, or maybe not. Well, even though you can still see hail and thunderstorms nonetheless. So that's how it looks tonight. So if you're under this tornado watch, and I don't know if it's going to really get extended in here, but there is a little bit of more, according to models, there's a little bit of convective available energy across portions of northwestern Florida and wind shear that could enhance the risk of tornadoes. So possibly an isolated tornado or two can't be ruled out in portions of northwestern Florida. But we'll see how things go from there. I think anything north of Tallahassee and northeast of Tallahassee and northeast of basically Chattahoochee area in Georgia, your tornado threat is pretty much gone. You're going to be dealing more with a wind threat. So that's that. So again, if you're under a tornado watch tonight and it does happen to get extended in portions of southern Alabama and southern Georgia and northwestern Florida, do have your alerts on your phone. Just make sure you have alerts on. If you're using Radar Mega, make sure you have the alerts on and stuff like that. For any tornado warnings that may be issued, or even a tornado warning that the tornado that a tornado that actually happens and gets produced by the thunderstorm. But other than that, I think we're dealing with more of a damaging wind threat right now. There obviously is another tornado, more tornadoes, tornado warnings here. I'm just not overly confident that they're going to be able to produce a tornado. I think the threat is overly low, based off what I've seen already. And the reason why is because it's a linear line of storms. That's the only reason why this would be preventing it from producing a tornado. That's the only problem. But again, tornado warnings continue to extend. I don't think we'll be dealing with any sort of actual like intense tornado that gets out, but obviously you still can't rule it out. As the Storm Prediction Center says, you have 2 tornadoes can't be ruled out. I don't think we're going to be seeing any of those tonight, and I don't think we'll be seeing any of these during the daylight hours today or in the afternoon hours today. I think the tornado threat is for a tornado to actually reach the ground level is kind of on the lower side of things tonight. I think the tornado warning, like the warnings, are on the higher side of things tonight. I think we'll see quite a few of those in the morning hours today. I just think the overall tornado threat for us to actually see a tornado on the ground is quite low. So that's how things are going to play out tonight, I think. So as you can see, there's a Storm Prediction Center has issued another kind of tornado watch area. Again, I'm not going to be live for this. It's just way too late for me. But yeah, if you're in anywhere in this area that is in a high wind shear environment or any tornado watch box situation, you have to have a way to receive alerts. Your alerts have to be on. Gusty winds, nonetheless, will definitely be a factor. Winds could gust, I would imagine, up they're saying 45 miles per hour here. I would not even rule out 50 mile per hour wind gusts, but that's just me. So, besides that, I think anywhere from about the Kentucky area to North Carolina on south, you're dealing with mostly a thunderstorm threat. The farther you go north is when you get into wintry precipitation. So much of the northeast of New England, my snowfall prediction is probably you're dealing with a solid 15 to 20 inches at the very maximum across areas of northern Maine, especially in Aroostook County. I think snowfall rates could be in excess of 1 to 2 inches per hour. And in areas across portions of the Watertown area in New York and northwestern New York, you could be dealing with a lot more higher amounts due to lake enhancement snow. Remember, that's your lake effect snow. Ice accumulation or ice accretion, I think down east coastline, down through southern and down east Maine, all the way down into Massachusetts, and specifically in the 2 areas that I'm basically putting my mouse on right now. Rain these 2 areas and up to down east and southern Maine, you have a chance to at least get up to 1/10 of an inch of ice, and potentially even up, I'd say an 80%, I don't want to put out percentage, but I think there's a decent chance of getting between 1/10 of an inch and 4/10 of an inch of ice. I still think some of the modeling indicating at potentially close to an inch of ice is kind of overseeing things across parts of Massachusetts. I think, 1/2 an inch to 3/4 of an inch of ice is about as much as you're going to get. But in southern Maine and down east Maine and the mid-coast, you have a potential to reach as much as 1/10 of an inch to as much as 4/10 of an inch of ice, especially in parts of southern Maine and into portions of central down east Maine. We will see a changeover likely to rain along the immediate coastline. So any freezing rain would likely come inland where the freezing marks are. So again, here's my initial thoughts. So I think right here, there's going to be like this little tiny window right in here that goes down. Again, I'm not circling Massachusetts. I think there's a little area right in here, and it might even extend a little bit to the north, to the east. But I think generally in this area, you're dealing with about 1/10 to 0.4 of an inch. I think you're going to have a lot of spots between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch of ice, and I think you're going to see some more isolated but potentially scattered spots, not in a large area, but in rather small portions of this area, could receive as much as 3/10 to 4/10 of an inch. And possibly even some very isolated spots receiving as much as 1/2 an inch of ice, which I think those areas are going to be really limited, depending on where the freezing rain line stands up and depending on how heavy it is and where the freezing line is. But I think 1/10 of an inch to 4/10 of an inch is reasonable. That's just based off what I'm seeing with models. But when you get those heavy bands that come off the ocean, with the squall line that's actually pushing through, it's going to continue to push out to the north and east. Obviously, you're not going to get those severe thunderstorms or the intense squall line all the way up to here in the northeast, but you will get some of the heavier bands of rain on the northern half of it. So with that being said, I think some of the heavier bands that come off the ocean, and if those temperatures are cold enough, which they look like they'll be between about 28 and 32 degrees, that is a recipe for ice accretion. So again, 4/10 of an inch to a half an inch of ice is kind of on the higher side of things. I don't see you getting much more than that. The only areas that I could see potentially getting more than that is in extreme southern Maine, where you'll see an extended time of sleet and freezing rain. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Snow accumulations, pretty much, your snow accumulations would probably look something like this. I'm not going to draw it, but because I don't know how accurate I'm going to be, but the one county that I think will see the most amount of snow is this county right here, Aroostook County, especially this part of the county. I think you're going to see between as low as 12 inches to potentially as high as, I wouldn't even rule out areas of 25 inches of snow, potentially even higher than that. Watertown, New York, obviously you're going to have to watch this area right in here due to lake enhancement of over like 1 foot of snow, potentially even more. Gusty winds will be driven up the east coast by the strong jet stream. It'll basically just go up like this. Here's a little meteorology for the other half. So there's going to be an area of low pressure over here that develops, and it's already starting to develop. It's going to transfer its energy to another area of low pressure that kind of sets up kind of like this. And what that's going to do is going to basically come inland, and I think it's going to be more of a track like this and less of a track like this, because if it's more track like the more northerly track, you'd be dealing with potentially a change over to all rain across the down east coastline. But I think it's going to be more of a track like this, where you get some rain along the coastline, but not all rain. And what this does is, again, prevents warm air from coming on all the way. Because if you had an area of low pressure that's set up kind of like this, which they were originally forecasting, and it come all the way up like this without an additional area of low pressure that kind of right up the down east coastline, you'd be dealing with a mostly rain situation. And really, I would have liked the high pressure to be somewhere up in. I'd really like the high pressure to be somewhere up near. The only problem is your high pressure is over here, and what this area of low pressure down here is going to be doing is continuing to push this high pressure off to the north and west. But if it were more over here, the storm track would likely shift down to the north, down to the south a little bit more, which obviously would not rule out all sleet, but the sleet line would probably not get much farther north than this. Or that's not a general good drawing. Probably wouldn't get much far north than this if you were dealing with more sleet, less sleet. That would take those totals. That would actually make more of a situation where even in central down east Maine and Augusta area receiving as much as 6 to 10 inches of snow is what I've seen with different weather stations. But all I know is it's going to be a disaster of a time. And along with those gusty winds, there will be gusty winds coming off of the water. It's just depending on where the area of low pressure tracks. We're thinking the area of low pressure is going to track more like this. Not like that, sorry. Kind of like this, right up the down east coastline. With that being said, on the very, like, right in here, you could be seeing wind gusts as high as 45 miles per hour. But I think once you get into central down east Maine, and kind of in this area, you're getting more 35 to 40 miles per hour, which combined with snow, sleet, and freezing rain on top of the trees will create power outages. It's just a matter of how much ice accretion we actually get. Sleet accumulation is going to be a problem. Obviously, it's going to cause treacherous driving conditions, but I think pretty much this entire area has a significant chance of seeing either very significant snowfall accumulation or very significant sleet and ice accumulation. It's all the three combined. And like I said, if warmer air does push in a lot more into the coastline, we could see a switch over to rain for a lot of eastern Maine potentially. But I don't think it's going to end up being like that based off what I'm seeing. But nonetheless, it's going to be a pretty disastrous situation. But you'll see your fair share of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Severe weather threat probably will start diminishing over the next couple of hours as we kind of lose, I wouldn't say the wind shear, but kind of the energy with the storms, because a lot of this energy is coming right off the Gulf of America's what they call it now. And you'll see that with the HRRR model and different models where they're dealing with a cape, and that's the problem. If the cape was more up here, you'd be dealing with probably a lot of tornadoes, but any tornadoes that would potentially actually, you know, become an issue would probably be in that area down here where there's enough instability. But obviously daylight heating will be a crucial part to it as well tomorrow. That's probably why they've issued a slight restriction to the other two, because, you know, daylight heating does help with it as well, but it also depends on how much cloud cover you have. But nonetheless, tornado warnings should continue over the next several hours. I don't think we'll be seeing anything too significant like a tornado outbreak or anything. But I think if you consider, I mean, you could look at it as a tornado warning outbreak. That's pretty much what we've had today. But in the way of actual tornadoes, we haven't seen hardly any one of them. Actually, we haven't seen any tornado confirmed yet. That may change in the morning as we get more information based off of, like, the National Weather Service gets more information based off of wind damage and stuff like that to determine whether or not it's a tornado damage or not. But that's to be determined by the National Weather Service in the morning hours. Obviously, it's kind of too early to tell if any tornadoes have struck any areas, but I'm sure some of those areas' rotations were on the rather strong side of things, so potentially a tornado could have dropped down. We just didn't see anything on the correlation coefficient that suggested that there was a tornado on the ground, or that at least debris was being lifted in the atmosphere. But nonetheless, it's been a crazy live stream. Obviously, I wasn't expecting it to be as like mellow as this. I thought we were dealing with more like a widespread tornado outbreak. But again, the only problem is we did not have as much individual cells ahead of the thunderstorms. That's the only problem. That's what was determining our tornado potential today, and we just did not see a whole ton of that. That's the only problem. A lot of these thunderstorms were attached to each other or in a line of thunderstorms. That's the only problem. Had we seen more individual cells, who knows what would have happened. We could have seen a full-on tornado outbreak. But I consider this a good live stream for now. I mean, I can take a look at these tornado warnings one more time just to determine if there's anything that suggests I should keep on live streaming. But based off what I've seen, I haven't really seen anything significant. Nothing here really. There's a lot of broad rotation, but I don't really see anything that looks significant. Back up here towards the tornado warned areas. Again, you have to watch out for these tiny areas that kind of develop. Again, some of these are really, really weak areas of rotation. You just gotta look for these areas of rotation that are really weak. Maybe a little bit stronger up here, but again, it's probably just, you know, some lowering in the clouds. I don't think we'll actually see a significant tornado actually be produced by any of these thunderstorms. I don't see anything that looks as if there's a tornado on the ground. I can look at the correlation coefficient to maybe see if there's something other than that, but I'm not seeing anything here. And we can go all the way down into this tornado warning as well, but I'm just not seeing anything that suggests that there's a tornado here. So I think the tornado threat was long gone hours ago. I just think we just didn't have the kind of setup we were hoping for tornadoes. There was one more tornado that I missed up here. I'll take a look at this one real quick, but this one does expire in about 7 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, see, I'm not seeing anything here. I think the tornado threat is pretty much over with now. It just was dependent on if we saw individual cells. We saw quite a bit of embedded rotation, but none of it really stood out. So I think that's where it stands today. But we had a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, and that's pretty much what you could have expected, honestly. I could have expected it to be a derecho situation, but it wasn't like that. There's more special marine warnings down here, potentially for water spouts, but I'm not seeing anything that looks significant. A lot of nothing. So, yeah. So yeah, just, you know, make sure you have your alerts on to make sure if you do get tornado warned that you have a plan in place in case if you do have to seek shelter immediately if there's actually a tornado on the ground, or just because of damaging winds in general. I think we'll see a lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings being issued. I just don't think we're going to see a whole lot of these tornado warnings be issued. I think you'll see, you know, several tornado warnings be issued, but I don't think any of them are really going to, you know, produce a tornado. Flooding will continue across portions of Ohio Valley and the portions of West Virginia, where heavy rain continues to fall and will continue to fall over the next several hours, I think. Doesn't look to be letting up anytime soon. I think we're going to see. And these areas that have already seen the heavy rain, especially these these areas of flash flood emergencies, you got more rainfall headed for you, and it could be rather heavy. And this looks like it's headed right for your area. So you're not done yet. So unfortunately, there's looks to be more flooding potential there. So gusty winds will continue. You could see really gusty winds all up and down the east coast. Really, it could be anywhere here. Really, it could be anywhere. But I think the most damaging winds will be confined to this area. I don't think down East Maine will be getting substantial amount of gusty winds, but we'll see how things go, I guess. But yeah. Alright, that's gonna do it for this live stream. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like the live stream and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 100 subscribers, which we're less than 40 away now, which is quite literally amazing. It is quite amazing. It is amazing. So yeah, that's going to do it for this live stream. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Like I said, make sure to like the stream and subscribe to the, Make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, stay safe out there, and yeah, I guess we'll see you in the next one. Bye. One last thing that I forgot to mention is the ice situation. I would not rule out down East Maine getting affected by some significant icing. It's just the temperatures are going to switch over so quickly once you get that freezing rain that it's not even going to matter. That's the problem. But yeah, I think that that area still has a chance to receive as much as 4/10 of an inch of ice, and potentially even higher than that. But that's going to do it for this live stream. As you can see, I got a cold, but make sure to have a way to get alerts when you need them, as a tornado warning or tornado watch could be, or a tornado emergency, for all I know, could be issued tonight and into today as well. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.